was something that was unique in the film. That, as I mentioned, when they were praying at their sacred spot in a sacred tree, what James Cameron didn't realize that he was doing is that he was really borrowing something out of African and African American culture. When they were all praying together and swaying together and speaking together, I realized what they were doing is they were doing something that has been a part of what is called Gullah culture. Not Geechee. Some people say Geechee. That's a bad word. You say Gullah culture. Gullah culture. From Gullah. Say Gullah? Gullah culture. From South Carolina and from Georgia. The Sea Islands, what they call the Barrier Islands, where groups of Africans lived, and in many ways they lived without a connection to European civilization and built their own culture and their language. And most of their language is a combination of African language, usually from Sierra Leone, bits and pieces of German and English. And their worship style is very, very deeply and closely connected to the worship style of those from Sierra Leone. And they do something that is a dying art, that is dying out in many areas, something called the ring shout. The ring shout is when people would get together, they would get into a circle, and they would begin to move, sometimes counterclockwise or clockwise. And as they would move, they would utter prayers unto God. And sometimes the Spirit would overtake people, and they would begin to shout, they would begin to testify, and they would say after they would finish that particular moment, that they literally heard clearly, in a clear voice, God speaking to them. And that moment in the film was when they were doing a ring shout, where all of the Na'vi came together, the young and the old, the elders and those who were just born into, came together and they started praying together. Because if they were going to protect and keep their planet from this colonizing force, they recognized that it was prayer that would bring them together. And so we have some little Na'vi that are around here today. And they just wanted to come and demonstrate and show a ring shout. That African ring shout that had been passed down from generation to generation, that is still, to this day, practiced on those barrier islands in South Carolina and in Georgia. They would come together and put their arms around each other, and they would begin to sway. As they look up at the cross, they begin to pray. And we're going to invite you, if you would join in at this moment. A very old practice in our community called the ring shout that's dying out. If you would just stand for a moment. Place your arms on the person's shoulder next to you. If you would just sway for a moment. Focus your eyes on the cross. Now close your eyes for a moment and offer a prayer unto God. Whatever that prayer may be, whatever is going on in your life. And if the Spirit moves you, that's what happens in a ring shout, that you may utter that prayer verbally, and someone else would catch that prayer because they know that I've got to pray for this person in the circle with me. And I'm going to be praying with them and lifting them up. Or it may be a Thanksgiving that you recognize that God is present with you, that God sees you. And so I invite you to pray as we focus our eyes on the cross. Whatever God is doing in your life, whatever you need in your life, you offer that prayer right now. If the Spirit moves you to utter that prayer verbally, to speak with power and authority about what God has stated God would do, that we are all beneficiaries in this place of the power of God, that God has already blessed us and pulled us through so many dangers and toils and snares. We thank you, Lord. We thank you for your mercy. We thank you for your love. We thank you for pulling us out of fires and ditches and dungeons. We thank you for closing doors that should have never been opened in the first place. We thank you for adding and subtracting in our lives. Adding people who know how to pray and subtracting people who don't know you. We thank you for how you have blessed our children and blessed our families. And when we look back over our lives and see all that you have done for us, our souls well up, and we just simply have to utter thanks unto you. We give you thanks today. Thank you for yesterday, and thank you for today. And we thank you for what you're going to do in our lives. May the Spirit of our God rest in your household. May God place a hedge of protection around you and yours. May no demonic force enter your house. May God push out any negative force that seeks to destroy you. May the Spirit of God rest, rule, and abide in your life. And may the road rise to meet you. May the wind always be at your back. May the sunlight of Jesus Christ always grace your cheek. And may rain gently fall upon your field. Until we meet again, go in peace, go in peace, go in peace. Give your neighbor a hug and say, I see you.